Alrighty. We are in the building, reacting. 24-19, taking this day going L to these stink tail Browns. Yeah, one of the ones, man. Definitely one of those ones. But you obviously know, man, we got plenty to unpack with this one, man. Plenty to unpack. Because there was a lot going on with this one today, man. Like I said, man, I thought it was some good stuff going on, man. Then some not so good stuff, man. Some self-inflicted things, man. But we'll obviously react to it, man, like we always do, baby. Like we always do. So y'all know the drill, man. Hit that like button one time for the coach on the front. And don't forget to subscribe. And go ahead and drop it in the comment section, man, where you're tuning in from. Because, whew, let's get this thing rolling. Gotta stand up all night on a school night. Take a L. What we doing, baby? Hand to these stink tail brownies. Lord. All right, come on, let's get it. Got my head all hot in here, man, watching this nonsense. Anywho. Try to be nice tonight. All right. Losing on no Thursday night. Anywho, who we got in the building, man? The Don Hefe Quan. Shout out to the homie in the 323. Watts, California. Got the homie Mordecai repping the 301, the DMV. Shout out to the DMV. Man, let's see who else we got tapping in. Rada said he has a 5 a.m. workout, bro. I'm right there with you. I got the 6 a.m. wake up for the oldest, man. So, yeah, buddy, man. Quick turnaround. Joey Weaver in the 920, Matawak, Wisconsin. Shout out to Matawak, baby. Zig Shazier always showing love in the 818,000 Oaks, California. Says hard turnaround. Russ is going to keep our heads right. Now, I believe with you as well, man. We got the right guy leading this here ship. Tyler from the 334 repping the Montgomery, Alabama. And, of course, we got 900 Juice in the 310 Compton. Shout out. Let's see, man. Coily Lee. Shout out to Coily Lee. Repping, where you repping? 912 Hillsville, Georgia. Shout out to Hillsville. GSN repping that San Fran. Salute to you out on the west side. One time for the coach at one time. And I'm gonna end it with the homie Jay Mel in the 206 Seattle, Washington. Shout out. And I do see you, Leah Warren, repping the 254 Killeen, Texas. Shout out to you. And just a heads up, do got your stuff on the way, man. Sent all the giveaways out. What was that, yesterday? All right. So shout out to you, Leah. But you know we always appreciate you and the gang repping. I see you, Steelers Nation Carpenter in the 805 California as well. All righty. Let's go ahead and get into it real quick. So, as a whole, my big takeaway, man, I thought just a ton of self-inflicted issues, man. And I also would say I thought the Browns played like the Browns that we saw a year ago, man. A little bit tougher of a unit. And you expect that, or at least you should be expecting that. And I don't think that the Steelers weren't prepared for that. In fact, I felt like they matched the energy. I think that from a coaching standpoint, the guys were prepared as well. I just think that it was one of those things where literally, man, those guys beat us, man. Put my hat back on. Now that I cooled off a little bit. Like I said, man, have my head warm, man. All right. But this is the thing, man. When we're talking about the way the Steelers are built right now, we have to win in the trenches. When we win from an offensive line standpoint, meaning we don't give up a ton of pressure or sacks and we're able to run that ball downhill, we are very tough to stop offensively. Flip side, on the defensive side of the ball, when we can generate pressure and make these quarterbacks have to get off the spot, along with being physical and all the other stuff that we still showed up today in terms of some of the turnovers, that's when we are at our best defensively. But for both sides of the ball, it starts in the trenches. And I thought tonight, man, the Browns just worked us in the trenches. We can call what we want to call in terms of play calling, and I'm gonna point to 6 explosive plays that were happening or did happen via pass, along with another 3 to 4 that happened via run. Play calling was not the issue. We talk about defense. We forced multiple turnovers. That wasn't the issue. The issue is when we don't win up front. When Myles Garrett has 3 sacks in the first half, when they are able to use their interior D linemen, Shelby Harrison, right? We talked about Shelby Harris. We talked about Tomlinson as well, right? Same dudes we talked about. You watch this game, them the dudes are sitting there making the plays versus the run, disrupting it, man. When we talk about from a defensive side of the ball, man, we say, yo, we supposed to be beating these dudes in the trenches, man. This is where our money is. Unfortunately, James was sacked 1 time. Barely was even hit and pressured if we're being fully transparent. That is tough on our defense, man. Like I said, man, that to me was the big takeaway. And then from there, I would also say, like I said, man, I think we had 5 first half penalties. That's self-inflicted. You can't have the self-inflicted. Obviously, we had a couple of turnovers. The turnovers honestly didn't hurt us too bad, but they still stopped us, man. And from there, man, we still had a little bit of the stalling out from a offensive standpoint, man, where obviously in that first half, Bots had to kick a couple of field goals. He obviously missed the super long one, hit the other 2. But from there, though, what I will say is this, man. Obviously, you know, we always say we got 2 sides of it, man. We got the ones that's only going to focus on the negatives. You got the ones that only focus on the positive. I try to give you a little bit of both. So, like I said, man, those are the negatives that stood out to me. From a positive standpoint, the play calling I thought was good because of what I just told you, man. When you're playing in a blizzard like that snowy, windy mix, man, that is tough action. But to have the amount of explosive plays that we had offensively lets you know that, yeah, Arthur Smith was still dialing in the way that he was supposed to get these guys to take shots downfield. I mean, we had a 22-yard completion to Pat Freiermuth, a 32-yard completion to George Pickens, 48-yard completion to Calvin Austin, 19-yard completion to Pat Freiermuth, 38-yard completion to Van Jefferson, and then we obviously had that last tutty pass to my man Calvin Austin, the 23-yarder. Dude, that's a lot of explosive plays right there from an offensive standpoint. Don't tell me the play calling is off when we got that many explosives, man. We know we can go back to my man, to my man Matt Canada, man, and we remember we weren't having that. But for the ones that minimize it, you know, I get that as well. I mean, it's simple to say don't seek comfort. That's the minimizing way, right? If you can't identify what you did well or wrong, then the cop-out is just say seek comfort or not doing that. But I get you either way. But my thing is this, though, man. With this team, man, there was still positive. The other thing I would say I liked about Arthur Smith was the fact that he get me out again, man. Was the fact that my man was able to implement Justin Fields. Obviously, the film last week in that Saints game showed where the Browns had troubles accounting for the quarterback as an athlete. And we saw that pop up with Justin Fields tonight. Obviously, he had the big 30-yard run late in the game, and then he drew a penalty as well, man. I think the weather affected him a little bit more, though, from a passing standpoint. Otherwise, I think we could have even had some success with that. But like I said, man, those were some of the things. I thought we ran the ball well, but not well enough. Did we end with over 100 on the day? Yes. Was that good? Technically, yes. But situationally, man, they stuffed the run. They stopped us multiple times on 4th down attempts. I mean, I thought the one, if my man Fields just goes left, I think he might have hit it, man. But unfortunately, he didn't. The rhythm looked a little off to me in terms of just them operating it. And, you know, that's kind of how it goes. But then the flip side is this. We can act arrogant and narcissistic and act like we're the only team that has good players if we want to. And if you do, then you're sadly mistaken. Myles Garrett is a heck of a player. Grant Delpit, their safety, is a heck of a player. And Njoku's a good player. Jameis Winston, we already know. He can light it up, but he can also do what he did in his game. Throw you one as well. But that's the Jameis effect, man. But they got dudes over there, man, that can play well, man. And unfortunately for us, those guys played better than us tonight, man. But the beautiful part is this, man. We got to see them again. We got to see a lot more teams down this stretch. So, I mean, as we sit here at 8-3, we could, you know, lose our mind and act like this was the end of the world. Or you could take it for what it was. A bad night at the office, man. Thursday night, short week. Didn't get the job done. But, like I said, plenty to understand and take away from. I will say this about the defense. Still continue to create turnovers. Multiple turnovers in this game, man. So I do like that. Love the physicality that I was seeing also from Patrick Queen, man. He was out there hitting folks. Like I said, Herbie got the strip sack, man. I just wish we could have had a little bit more production from him and TJ, man. I thought that those guys should have had a little bit more of a favorable matchup. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But like we say all the time, it's only a mismatch if you make it a mismatch. Those guys got pride. Those guys, the same way we'll look at our backup Nick Herbig, who backs up Highsmith, and we expect him to go out there and win. Man, those guys do the exact same thing with their offense linemen, with their rotational players, guys that are filling in for injured players. And for them, man, yeah, they were able to get up out of that thing, man. Now, I will say, I also think that, for us, we still have to learn to not shoot ourselves in the foot. We are a good team, but we're not good enough that we can spot teams' points or allow teams to kind of hang around, which is unfortunately what I thought we did in that first half, more so because of our self-inflicted issues. When that happens, man, it puts you in a bad situation, and now it allows a team like the Browns to kind of just hang around, and now you make a play here or there, and it gets weird. In that second half, we're just like, okay, it's getting weird now, man. We done let this team kind of just hang around. We're moving the ball. Don't get it twisted. And that's the part where I'm like, I can't look at it and say, oh, play calling this or that. It was like, we were moving the ball, but you give up a sack on it was an opening drive, man. We give up the sack for with Myles Garrett, forces a 48-yard attempt. We obviously miss it, right? Or the 58-yard attempt, we miss it. From there, man, we were able to come back. We obviously score on the 10-play 59-yard drive. But from there, it was just a ton of, man, we're knocking on the door. All right, turnover on downs. All right, knocking on the door. Oh, strip sack. Oh, knocking on the door. And now before you know it, it's like, all right, this team ain't got confidence, man. And that's kind of how it goes, man. But that's Thursday Night Football as well, man. Short week, division game. It gets weird, man. And you throw that weather in there. It's perfect storm, so to speak, man. But like I said, man, we'll be straight. We'll bounce back. 8-3. Here we go, man. But like I said, those are kind of my initial takeaways from the game, man. Obviously, on this nonsense of a late night. But let's see what we got, man, from a chat standpoint, man. How negative are we tonight? Don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel, baby. I see the homie Mike Hood pulling up. Shout out to you and him showing love tonight, man. Gifting some upper room membership. Shout out to you, Mike Hood, for the love. And to those individuals, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But now Mike Hood also says, I want to seek comfort and need my binky in bed. Nah, trust me, man. I feel you on that. As I was sitting there with wifey, I'm like, oh, we take this L. Now I got to, instead of getting to lay with you tonight and feel better about the situation, I got to come down here and deal with this gruntle just negatives tonight, man. We negative tonight. God, dog. But it's all good. We're going to trauma bond together, all right? We're going to trauma bond together. But, it's like that sometimes, man. To find some comfort, though. Find some comfort in we still had an explosive passing attack even in the snow. Find comfort in the fact that when it was still down to the wire, offensively, we did find a way to go ahead and get that tutty, man, at the end. That Calvin Austin touchdown pass, beautiful, all right? We felt confident down that stretch. Don't get it twisted. We just felt like we ran out of time, though, if we being real about it. I think if it's a minute 30 when we get that ball last at the end, I think all of us feel drastically different. And I think this outcome is different. But unfortunately, we get the ball under a minute and, yeah, here we go. But I'm with you. Trust me, man, there's some positives in this thing if you allow yourself to see them. Now, if you only want to focus on the negative, I get that as well. It's such as life. But, that was one of the things, man. I just thought that 30 more seconds at the end of that game drastically changes the feel of that. But also, kudos to the Browns, man. They found a way late in that game to hit that fourth down. I mean, that was the thing for them. We stopped them on multiple occasions. I think they were 4-4 on fourth down attempts. That's tough. We can't do that. You allowing them to extend drives. And that's, when we talk about allowing the team to stick around, but also them making plays, that was kind of what we got. But I don't feel like it was necessarily us allowing them to make those plays. Some of them was Jameis improvising, man, doing the things that we saw him do at Florida State. I'm like, bruh, which Jameis am I watching now, man? How do we get here? But like I said, man, such is life right now. Such is life. T-Star-F. Shout out T-Star-F. He says, horrible game plan on both sides. I mean, we can agree to disagree with the game plan. To me, man, I think it's not about the game plan. I think it's about when you're one-on-one in the trenches, like we typically do 8 of these games that we played this year. This is the outcome. When you don't create pressure on the quarterback and when you allow your quarterback to get pressured the way that we were, Yeah, I don't care what you call. There isn't a call for that, offensively or defensively. You can roll through whatever blitz you want to call, whatever coverage you want to call behind it. You can call all the sexy route combinations you want. If you do not have time to throw the football, none of that matters. This is the approach that we typically take and how we cook teams when we're like, oh, who gonna block TJ? Who gonna block Alex? Who gonna block Cam? Who gonna block Herbig? That's usually what we are saying. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And the flip side, it was the Myles Garrett show. You know, so when it's like that, I mean, we can try to minimize it and take it away from the players and put it on coaching because it makes us feel a little bit better about it. But to me, man, them dudes on that field, they got to show up. They got to show up and be better than that. And I think they will. They definitely will. It's a short week. So like I said, man, we had the short week. They had the short week. So it's no excuse with that. But it is context. And I just think that, like I said, man, them dudes will be back, man. They'll be back. All right. Joey Weaver. He says, we lost, but Mike Hood gifted a membership, so I win. Shout out to you, Joey Weaver. Shout out to Mike Hood. That's what we need at times, man. When we in the thick of the nastiness, you know, fresh reaction to a L, a stank L versus the daggone Browns on a Thursday night game, along with that annoying tail, the fans that were beating on the daggone metal thing. It sounded like a trash can every time he's about to say, bang, 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 bang. I got to hear that all night. I'm watching the squad lose. Now when I go to sleep tonight, you know what I'm be thinking about when I get into bed? Whatever that was, whoever that annoying fan was, man, had an issue with him. I'm sorry, okay? But that was what was pissing me off. I was getting this L. All right, I'm sorry. Maybe it was just me. I could have been the only one hearing it. Maybe. But yeah, had me in my feelings a little bit. Okay. I was hoping that we was gonna win, and I couldn't wait for one of them dudes to go over there and be like, now bang that joint now. Now hit that daggone metal. Now make all that sound. But unfortunately, we saw how the game turned out. Let's see. Oh, X Concept, you heard it as well. Okay, yeah. I knew I wasn't tripping. I'm like, yo, who is banging this note? It sounded like somebody was beating a drum like a metal trash can out there, man. Definitely was terrible. Definitely. All right. Let's see. Shout out to David Deck. Okay, yeah. All right. I like when y'all heard to say they got hurt because it was bugging me, bro. I was a little bugged. I was like, yo, babe, you hear this nonsense? She's like, I know, but I don't know what's going on. I'm like, yo, why they keep making the noise? But anywho, y'all hit that like button one time for the culture. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. And it's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Okay, yeah. Hopefully we looking for some positivity right now. Happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. Cause geez Louise. Oh, Mike Hood said it's the metal signs with the retired numbers. Okay. Did not know that, man. Yeah. All I know is I just kept hearing. I'm just like, yo, what are they hitting? What is this banging? Yeah, man. Oh, DJ Burke, don't do us like that, DJ Burke. DJ said that sound wasn't as annoying as a bunch of snot towels waving around incessantly. Lord, don't you do that to us now. Come on now. You know them terrible towels look pretty even when they on the road. Don't play. Sheesh. Yes, Juice Bellamy, Mike Hood. Super duper annoying, man. And this is what happens, man. But they got to come back to us. Remember that. They got to come back to the casa. They're going to come back to see us in the casa. I can't wait for that one. We're going to remember this. They're going to see us, though. They'll see us. Zig Shazier, he says, what do you think is the cause for lack of pressure? Man, tonight, I thought it was a combination of their tackles, man, definitely blocked a lot better. More so, I was really impressed with the left tackle. Where is he at? I think they said it was Ford. I want to say that was out there, man. I got to go back and check it. But he was the one that kind of surprised me because I thought Herbig would have a little bit more production. Now, granted, he had the strip sack, and that was dope. But I just thought we were going to get a little bit more consistency in terms of pressure from that side. With TJ, it was a mix, man. The guy, when he had his occasional one-on-ones with TJ, I thought he blocked them well. Now, TJ still was getting some pressure, but I thought at the same time, James did a good job of maneuvering the pocket and getting up out of there. And then the other times, you would obviously see it on the broadcast. Man, all right, tight end going to be over here to kind of inconvenience him. Okay, running back can come over here and inconvenience TJ. So they were kind of doing that. But to me, it was a little bit of mix of those tackles, man. That offensive line played a lot better than they had on tape. And like I said, for us, we didn't win those one-on-ones like I thought we should have. Like I said, sometimes it literally boils down to just that. I don't know why they weren't winning that one-on-one, because everything that you watch on tape going into this game, along with their personal attributes in terms of our defensive line and edge rushers, everything points to them and checks off to them having success versus these type of guys. But tonight just wasn't their night. And sometimes, man, it's like that. Sometimes you just got to say, all right, we'll see them again. And that's the beautiful part. I'm just glad it's not postseason where this just took place at, man. So it gives you a chance to respond to it, and that's one of the things that we got to do. But I will say, man, I thought Jameis did a good job, because there were some times where we did create pressure and we forced him to move off that spot. But that's when you saw him extend some of those plays, man. He had a nice run. He had multiple throws where he was on the run and kind of extending the play. And you would see him, just dropping one here or climbing the pocket, throwing stuff. That's TJ. That's Herbig. That's the game creating pressure. But that's Jameis making a play. And I don't think that at times we wanted to respect Jameis in terms of team, players, coaches. Everybody respects Jameis from a football standpoint, player-wise. But we know fans, media, man, they look at Jameis and it's like you get caught up in the antics a little bit, because Jameis is Jameis. But at the same time, it's like, don't get it twisted. Jameis has thrown for 5,000 yards and thrown 30 touchdowns in a singular season. We can bring up the 30 picks, and sure, but don't bring up the 30 picks as if that all of a sudden wipes out the 30 touchdowns and 5,000 passing yards. To accomplish 5,000 passing yards and 30 touchdowns in a singular season lets me know that you have talent. You are very skilled at this level. But the 30 picks is the decision making, is the consistency with it. I thought tonight, man, he just made good decisions. The throw that was the interception to Dante Jackson, shout out to Johnny on the spot. I saw how the broadcast looked. It's like, all right, man, did it slip out of his hand? What is a bad throw? I don't know. I don't care. I'm glad we got the pick. But Jameis, like we said during the week, you heard me on the podcast talking to my Deke, like, yo, Jameis is a good player, man. And he is very talented. And throughout his tenure, or at least in Cleveland this season, man, with these, 4 games or 5 games he's played in now, the dude's been playing well. He's been out. I think it was one game where he had the 3 picks. I forgot which team was. I think it was his second start. But outside of that, the dude's been looking good. So to, act as if he couldn't come, out here on a short week and have success against us if we weren't playing up to par and if we were allowing him to stick around, this is kind of what you got to live with. And like I said, it's unfortunate, but the beautiful part is they got to see us again. We're going to see him again. We're going to see him again. All right, let's see. Goodness, man, I still can't believe we took this daggone L tonight, bro. We were tripping. We were supposed to be over here partying all weekend, carrying into Thanksgiving, talking about, yeah, we still eating W's, living our best life. And instead, we got to sit here and wait, 10 whole days to get action again? Like, come on, man. Come on. All right. Tons of fun in the building. Shout out to Tons of Fun rocking out with the boys tonight. Says, we got exposed. I got energy. YouTube doesn't want me saying. Oh, shout out to that. Great calls? Question mark. Y'all, all right, yeah, those 4th down calls were perfect. With some motions that we're not going to repeat on this thing, man. But I'll say this, man. In terms of the great calls, I'm assuming you're talking us. We'll talk both sides, man. We'll talk our 4th down conversions or lack thereof, and then we'll talk the Browns' 4th down conversions, man. Thought it was simple, man. We had the 2 attempts, right, on 4th down. No, we had 3 attempts, because the last one was Russ connecting to Moats. Shout out, man. 9-yard connection, rolled out, looked good. But the thing that I would say is this, man. The first 4th down attempt that we had with Justin Fields, I didn't like the timing of it. I thought we were kind of like just rushed at the end. I know the clock was winding down, and part of that, we got to make that decision and get those guys out there faster. But to me, I thought that the rhythm and the flow just didn't look right. And then obviously from there, you get, Justin Fields kind of looks like he aborted and went to the right, where the pool and everything hole-wise looked to the left. I don't know what he saw or what the call was, but to me, it just looked funky as a whole. So that right there, it's like, man, are we calling that bad call or are we calling that bad execution? Because if the play is designed to go to the left, where you see the puller going to the left, you look and it is a beautiful wide gaping hole right there. To me, wide gaping hole on 4th and short is a good call. Now, Justin Fields taking it to the right. Like I said, I don't know. Was that by design or was that execution? But you can't tell me you didn't see the hole. All I can do is put you in the position to make the play. That's like a dude being wide open, dropping the pass. Now we're going to say bad call. What are we doing here? Right? If we're going to be accountable, if we're going to really talk that talk like we want to talk tonight, let's really talk it. Because to me, that is actually a good call. But you do have to execute it a lot better. Execution falls on who? Not coaching staff. It falls on players, baby. It's literally that simple, man. All right, the next one. Jaylen Warren, man. That was a simple one. They beat Artel up front, man. It was simple as heck, man. You saw the dude kind of swim on Seyu Malu. And then from there, man, makes a tackle for loss in the backfield. We could call that bad call. We can call that bad execution. What y'all want to call it, man? Pick your poison, right? Bad call because Seyu Malu, he hit him with the thing, right? Or is it bad execution because Seyu Malu got hit with the thing? Like I said, man, it just depends on which way you want to point the finger, who you want to spin the narrative to. To me, I just look at it as a whole and just say, we just have to be better as a collective in those situations, man. If it doesn't work, oh yeah, put on the call. Nah, let's look at that. Let's actually talk about why it didn't work. Seeking comfort to me is just saying, oh man, bad call. That's seeking comfort. There is zero detail in that, man, zero minutia, zero understanding, and how do you improve upon it? But when you actually look at what went wrong, that's the beauty of the context, baby. That's the beauty of being able to see, oh, so this is why it went wrong. So this is how we fix it. But if we just simply sit here and point fingers all day, man, you ain't gonna fix anything. You're gonna be just like the 3-8 Browns who get hot on occasion, have a moment, make you feel good in a sense. But then when you look at the course of a full season, they are who they are. So, like I said, man, don't seek comfort. Let's seek solutions, all right? Shout out to y'all, though, baby. John Rye rocking out. He says we need more throws to the middle. I do agree with that as well. I thought we would have got a little bit more of that tonight, but the flip side, Cleveland played a lot more man. And the flip side, with them playing that man, that was why we were able to hit some of those throws down the yard to Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, and GP. Because of that, man. But yeah, I do agree, man. I would like to see us attack that middle a little bit more. But like I said, man, for Cleveland, man, that was one of the things that looked like they wanted to take away. So if they do that, the flip side is you got to hit them on the perimeter. And with Russ, we do know we have that capability. I mean, when we look at what he did from a passing standpoint, right? Bad call, bad, whatever we want to throw it on, right? The dude was 21 of 28 for 270 yards, 9.6 yards per pass, and a touchdown while getting sacked 4 times in the snow. Like, if we really going to talk about it, right? Do you want to throw in this little 10-yard run too? It was a little cute little 10-yard run. But if we really going to do it, right? If we really going to, and let's get pitchforks. Let's go trip real quick, right? Let's trip. Right? Because to me, that's still dang good numbers, man. That's dang good production, throwing that ball down the grass, man. And like I said, that's even with us not being able to attack the middle of the field, like I think we would all want more of. Let's not act like 21 to 28 for 270 and a touchdown while getting sacked 4 times was not doing the daggone thing, man. All right. But anywho, shout out to the homie Sean Ray. Shout out to Sean Ray. He says keep Fields on the sideline and don't waste the timeouts. Okay, fair enough on that. I didn't have an issue with the Justin Fields implementing him tonight, man, because like I said, man, the Saints had a ton of success with Taysom Hill just last week. You look at his numbers, what he did last week, watch the game, what he did last week. He was a nightmare for those guys to deal with. That was why we used Fields so often tonight. And at times, I thought that he looked good. I just thought that he got too one-dimensional. I don't think that the Browns, after his, 3rd or 4th time being out there, I don't think they felt he was going to actually throw the ball. That was my whole, as I'm watching, I'm like, all right, you got 2 gloves on. Now, I know you wore 2 gloves, but it just looks like you're not coming out here to throw it. It looks like you're coming out here to run it. And the plays were all in that downhill running manner. except the 2 throws that he had. And it was just, to me, I think that works, but you have to have some more, versatility with it if you're really going to use that, because otherwise it just, like I said, man, it feel like it throws off the rhythm a little bit, man. And like I said, I do like the thought process. I do like the fact that just a week ago, everybody was complaining about, why don't we put him out there more? Why don't we use Justin Fields more? All right, he started to implement them more, and you see some of the pros and some of the cons with that. This is, like I said, man, how it goes though. When you do that, it does kind of throw off the rhythm at times, but you can see how it makes that defense get a little bit uneasy, right? Start to feel a little uncomfortable. So with that, man, we'll figure that part out, man, a little bit more as those guys continue to get more in line with each other in terms of Arthur Smith, Russ, and Justin Fields in terms of how they want to do that. But I'm not tripping on that, man. I thought that for it to have been implemented a little bit more in a short week, it was productive. Wasn't the best, but it was still productive. We also got a touchdown out of it as well. When you think about that Jaylen Warren touchdown run, a lot of that was mainly because you got Justin Fields out there, and it makes you have to pause for a second. You have to account for it. If he pulls this ball, who's going to make that tackle on him? With Russ, it's not the same threat. And that's the part where, like I said, Arthur Smith just using all his resources. Says, let me put this dude out here, man. I think I can make something happen with that. So, like I said, I don't hate that. But we will get it cleaned up and be a lot better, though, man. Shout out to Haitian Dynasty. He says, there was a hit job on number 14 tonight. Them refs. Yeah, there was definitely some. They were letting them play physical on that, man. I don't know how I felt about it, though. I felt at least the last play for certain. That last play, the Hail Mary, I did feel like there was a lot of contact on it. I thought the DB was essentially just hugging him down the grass. But the way referees kind of officiate that play, they let those guys get away with it, all the boxing out, the pushing, the jersey pulling and stuff like that. So situation, I'm like, okay, I get it. I don't like it, but that's traditionally how they do it. The two on the left side down the grass, I think it was versus Emerson, I'm back and forth on. I know the commentator was talking about, oh, he kind of is running aimlessly, not seeing the ball. I didn't necessarily agree with that. I thought that I don't know, man. I felt like he was in position. I felt like he looked awkward, but he was still in position. And that's the only part where as a defender, I'm like, I'll be pissed if JPJ got called PI for that. Or if Dante Jackson got called PI for that. So if I would be pissed if my guy got called for PI for that, I can't sit here and be like, oh, yeah, you should have thrown the flag right there. Like, that's just me in terms of personally. We could disagree on that. You might be like, nah, bump that. Throw it on them. Don't throw it on us. It all is well, man. But to me, that was my only thing, man. I just thought that with Emerson, he was still in position and he never grabbed at GP, never really impeded his progress. It was just they both looked awkward going for the rock, and Emerson was just happened to be there at both times, man. But I don't have an issue when the refs let them kind of just, let them do it, man. Nobody's doing too much pulling one way or the other. Let them go. And GP is a physical receiver. We saw this even last week versus the Ravens with Trey White, right? They let him a couple of times down the grass, them dudes jostling for position. This is, one of the things when you're dealing with bigger receivers as a defender, that's how you combat them. And GP's game is what? Let me get hands on you. Let me moss you. I'm going to push off you. I'm going to do all that. So I just think the referees, man, they kind of allowed some of that physicality to go on out there, man. Shout out to AJ Martinez. He in the building tonight. Let's go. And he's gifting upper room membership. So shout out to AJ being an absolute rock star, paying it forward into that individual that got it. Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. AJ says, now we know how the Ratbirds feel. 1-5-1 in Cleveland. We started slow, but we got in the end zone. Boz Miss hurt us down the stretch. Whoo, yeah, we did talk a little bit about our Cleveland situation, right? We were laughing because the way that everybody talks about the Ravens, oh yeah, we own the Ravens, this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but of lately, man, Cleveland is like weirdly, had our numbers, so to speak, man. And we were starting to go back and look at some of those matchups, and it's like, dang, we really be struggling. And then when you talk about, us actually winning in Cleveland, it's going back to when Big Ben was here, man. So, with that, yeah, definitely sucked, man. The slow start hurt us. And yeah, when you miss some field goals, or not field goals, when you miss a field goal, yeah, it did have a little bit of an impact, but I'm not tripping on that either, man, with the way the weather was and stuff like that. But yeah, that's definitely the case, man. It's a funky matchup in this AFC North sometimes on the road, man. But shout out to Cleveland, man. They showed up. They were ready to play, man. Cleveland was ready. ASAP Smalls. Shout out to ASAP Smalls rocking out that night. Let's get it. Let's get it. He says, glad to see Arthur knows how to use Calvin Austin 19 or CA19 now. He says the punt will be in my nightmares tonight. Play calls was just mistimed. Man, when we need the zone and vice versa, good game to the Browns. Bengals finna feel this loss. No, facts on that, ASAP. Facts on that. And yeah, I do agree, man. I think Arthur Smith definitely is finding different ways to get Calvin Austin more involved down the yard. And I like the fact that instead of it being like we saw the previous two games where most of those vertical shots to Calvin were on the perimeter, this one was in the middle of the field where he has more space and it's a little bit easier of a throw from Russ as well from an angling standpoint, man. So I do like those subtle details like that. Also putting Moof in that stack position off the ball, man. I like some of those little details that we're seeing. The punt, yeah, wasn't the best. Shout out to Corliss, though, man. He's been having a heck of a year. To me, personally, I thought that he kind of pulled up on the punt because of the pressure. I think if he actually goes full extension with this punt, I think it's going to hit Herbig in the back. And I think that Corliss was kind of feeling that and trying to avoid it, and that was what made it kind of pop up all weird like that, man. But that's the other part of special teams. We got to make sure we protect, man, and give that guy time, man, to do his thing. But in terms of some of the play calls, I do agree, mistimed, especially, like I said, the fourth down attempt, man, the first one with Justin Fields. Like I said, just the rhythm was just a little bit off, man. Just a little thing here, and then Myles Garrett had a night. Shout out to Myles. He had a night, man. But we'll be back. And like I said, the fact that we do get Cincy next week, man, we're excited about that. We know it's going to be a tough matchup. This is the tough part to discuss. We know what it was, but we'll be good with that. I'm just glad we get to see Cleveland again. We got to see them boys again, man. We need our get back. Got to get our lick back now, man. Can't believe we done let these dudes done really beat us in Baltimore, bro. How? Think about that for a second. Us and Baltimore. Top two teams in the North. Shoot, you can make a case. Two of the top four teams, we'll just say top four teams in the AFC as a whole. And Cleveland beat both of us in the span of 4 weeks? 3 weeks? National Football League. Don't act like this is just a Steelers thing. It's just a Coach Tom thing. Nah, man, it's the National Football League, baby. If you don't come out there and play your best for 4 quarters, man, any and everybody can beat you at this league, man, at this level, man. And, it's unfortunately what happened tonight. But, whew, that's crazy to think about, low-key. Craziness. All right, man, they putting a replay of the game on NFL Network. I got to turn that off. I don't want to watch it again right now. Hold on now. Jeez. Shout out to the homie K Goated. All right, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. He says, typical Tomlin loss. Terrible team. But hey, watch us mess around and beat the Chiefs on Christmas. We needed this loss. Media was hyping us up for real. Shout out to K Goated. You said, man, of the 8 Tomlin wins we didn't have, man, we'll take the Tomlin loss, man. We ain't sat tripping on it at all, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. But, yeah, we'll take care of business. That's what we do. Under Coach T, baby. That's what we do, man. But, really, they took an L to them bumtail Browns. How? Why? Doesn't make sense. Jeez. Oh, man. All righty. And y'all hit that like button too if y'all enjoy how we rocking out the night, man. Even though we took an L, at least we in here trauma bonded. At least we got the gang with us, all right? Shout out to each and every one of y'all that's in here tonight as well, man, all right? It's a rough night tonight. Rough night. But we making it better, all right? We making it better. Shout out to Amber. What up, Amber? Shout out to you on the late night. I see you tapping in. She says, I feel like we start ourselves so far behind, forcing the run and starting slow. It's like we are climbing out of a hole every first half. Nah, salute to you, Amber, man. Definitely appreciate you rocking out with the channel and for the super chat as well. Oh, yeah, in terms of us forcing the run, I'll say this. Early on, we were trying to establish the physical, element of our game, because that's the way we create that play action pass that Russ has been, really dominant with since taking over, man. The play action pass is a big part of Arthur Smith's game. So with that, we're trying to set that run up early. The Najee runs, the Jalen runs. It was crazy to see Najee fumble a little bit earlier. Shout out to Russ, though, being prepared, getting that ball. To me, though, it was more so, when we realized that wasn't going to work, it was already, midway to the end of the second quarter. So that really contributed to the slow start. We did still take some shots on occasion on the perimeter, but as a whole, yeah, we could not run that ball against them. And that's, what really kind of contributed to it. The flip side is this: we could come out and be more aggressive early from a throwing standpoint, but the way Arthur Smith likes to set it up, he likes to set it up by saying if we're more physical, because if we are, now we can really dominate and take over the games like we've seen at times this season. If we start out, on this passing game, man, you start having them 3-and-outs, that stacks up. Before you know it, you like, bro, man, we down right now because we're just not getting enough plays. And that's how some teams struggle versus us. They try to come out here throwing all the time, and it's like, nah, man. When our guys are rushing the way they're supposed to, we create too much pressure for that. But tonight, that was not the case. But to me, man, like I said, I think that was more so the thought process behind it. But when we went in the trenches, I don't think this is going to be an issue. Tonight, though, yeah, it's one of those ones. And we did make some adjustments. That's what made it a little interesting in the second half, but, a little bit was it too little too late? So, yeah. And Leah Warren, I did see you ask in the comment section, what time are we streaming tomorrow? We in the morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right? Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'll put the link up to it once we finish this stream tonight. But yeah, so just quick heads up, anytime we go on Fridays, it's always going to be that 9:30 time frame. Number one, because I got to drop the kids off in the morning. All right, man, they be 6 o'clock, 6:30, and then 7:35. All right. So yeah, that give me a little bit of time. But 9:30 a.m. we out here. All right, we be back. Me and the homie Deke, and we will obviously give the full, context, his thoughts, my thoughts, and after we done slept on it a little bit as well. But those are the deets for tomorrow. All right. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let's see. And y'all are deep in here tonight, man. Shout out. All right, here we go. All right, let's see. Oh, here we go. Tons of fun spinning the block on me, man. He says, also, just to be clear, the stuff YouTube doesn't want me to say is towards me, not anyone else. Don't want anyone here to feel threatened. Shout out to the homie, tons of fun, man. You know we ain't worried about you saying that crazy to the congregation, man, because you're a good guy at the heart. I already know. You're just passionate. We all are. That's why we up here, 12:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, November 22nd, because we're passionate about the guys. We love the guys. So when the guys make us stay up on a Thursday night and we don't win, we're going to feel some type of way. And instead of directing it to others, we direct it to ourselves. I'm over here like, bro, you mean to tell me instead of me laying with my bae thing tonight, enjoying some adult, me and, what I'm saying? Like, let's watch our shows like how we watch our Lifetime, our Netflix, what I'm saying? I like all that. But now we want to watch the guys tonight. And if it don't take the L, now it's like, yo, it ain't even no mood tonight, ain't even no vibe tonight. That ain't how you stay married for 13. No, that ain't how you do that when he wins, man. So here we go. But it's all good. It's all good. We're going to bounce back. But tons of fun. I'm with you, baby. I'm with you, man. All right. And he says, I'll never find comfort with the Steelers. Can't do that. We don't seek no comfort. Nah. We got to find ways to just keep winning. That's the goal. Just keep winning. All right. Let's see. Shout out to AJ Martinez. Always love when you're in the building with me as well, man. He says, Cleveland had the fire to start the game. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me get that back real quick. Chat jumped on me for a second. All right. Let me get that. There we go. All right. AJ Martinez, he says, Cleveland had the fire to start the game. We came out a little flat. Coaches coached well in the second half. We got out emotionized. Good game overall. L. Shout out to emotionized. Hey, man, I like your style, AJ. Shout out to you. And I think that's fair, man. I don't feel like we came out flat. I'll put it like this. I feel like we still came out prepared to go. I just thought that the Browns were more pissed off. It looked like, you obviously heard Myles Garrett talking before the game. That didn't sound like, just regular energy. That sounded like I'm pissed off and I got something to prove. And I thought for us, we kind of came out with, we just came off a big win. We know we're good. We're ready to go. And we moved the ball well. Don't forget that. But what happened on the opening drive? We're marching down the field. We're in position to at least, worst case, we're going to have a decent field goal. And who happened? Myles Garrett, the sack, changed the whole dynamic of it. So that was my only part where I say I don't feel per se that we were flat. I just felt like they were more pissed off, and situationally they made the plays in those moments, and that's how you get this game going the way that it started to go. Started to get weird, and then before you know it, they started to get confidence, and now it was weird confidence, and then weather, and now it's like, oh, we got a ball game now. Whew, it's getting real in here, and that's one of the things that kind of sucks, man. But yeah, I don't feel like they were. I don't feel like our guys were flat though. I just didn't feel like that. But we could definitely say out emotionized though. Yeah, because for certain Cleveland was pissed off, man, and Jameis has the Jameis effect. You hear it when he talks. The dude is dripping positivity and energy, and he's a walking motivational speaker. I mean, my man dropped gems. That dude said, "Yo, the horses are ready for battle. It's already won. Victory's the Lord." I'm like, "Ooh, all right, he on one tonight, man." Like, that's Jameis. Jameis said, "Oh, man, I was FaceTiming my daughter. My daughter was eating the snow." I said, "Man, what if God blessed me to eat the snow tonight after a victory? I can't wait." I say, "Boy, what? That's what you want tonight? That's how you talking?" So that's the Jameis effect. Like, let's be real. He get out here and start saying that stuff, and you start believing. He be like, "You know what? I'm going to eat the snow tonight with you, bro. We're going to eat a W tonight." Like, that's the Jameis effect. And you allowed him to hang around a little bit, and it gets weird on you, man. And Russ honestly has a similar impact, man. Let's not act like he doesn't. We already see it, and we felt it. Hence the reason why we're 4-1 with him right now, man. But that's, like I said, that's one of the things, man. It's one of those things. You allowed too much to go on, and now it is truly that perfect storm. But we'll bounce back like we always do. AJ Martinez, he says, "No Tomlin lost tonight. We just got beat. It happens." Salute to you, AJ. I appreciate you, AJ. We on the same page with that, AJ. I don't feel like this is a loss that you put on any coach exclusively and say, "Oh, this is on Arthur Smith. Call him Arthur Canada. Oh, this is on Mike Tomlin. This is a Tomlin loss. Oh, the Browns. Oh, it's on Terrell Austin. Oh, Terrell Austin, you suck." Nah, I don't feel like it was any of that. Could they have all been better? Sure. Whenever you lose, you could be better. 1,000%. That's just how it goes. But to act as if they were bad, I don't agree with that. I just think that, they did get beat. It's like that sometimes, man. Kevin Stefanski, 2-time Coach of the Year. Thought he did a good job, man. I thought that he was aggressive at the right times, allowing Jameis to go out there on some of those 4th down attempts. And I thought that he was smart at times also, not putting my boy Dustin Hopkins out there to kick in some of that nasty far out weather, man. So with that, part of that is good on him. Jim Schwartz, we know who Jim is, man. Heck of a DC. Obviously was the DC for the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl, man. But that dude knows his stuff, man. And I thought that he had a pretty good game plan tonight in terms of packing the box, making us beat them on the perimeter one-on-one, and ultimately playing that game of, can we make enough plays on the perimeter one-on-one, because he's not going to allow us to just kill them on the ground running the football. To me, that approach is dicey. And I think if that weather holds up a little bit more in the second half, we really take advantage of it. But unfortunately, that's not how it played out tonight. That's why I'm like, I want to see us when we come back to Pittsburgh, because it was a lot of single high. It was a lot of man-to-man. It was a lot of my guy's better than your guy. And I felt like our guys were getting the best of Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit when they was in coverage. Problem was, we just didn't get enough opportunities of that, man. But to me, like I said, bring it back, man. We'll see him again. But Jim Schwartz is a heck of a coach, man. He know what he's doing. For a fact, he knows what he's doing. And like we said with Kevin Stefanski, man, his track record is already proven. So those guys, man, they got some players over there, man. You got to tip your cap to them on occasion, man. Not too much, but on occasion. And then the last one from the homie Red says, he's laughing at us. Hey, guys, how does Russ Hoovo taste? Oh, man, I thought Russ was doing his thing, man. I mean, the dude had 21 to 28, 270 and a tidy. I mean, what am I missing here? I don't know. I digress. But anyways, man, we ain't gonna seek no comfort, man. We're gonna find it out, man. Dudes bounce back, and we'll go from there, man. We will go from there. But yeah, man, it's past midnight, guys. Let's go ahead. All right, let's do it. We turning around right back in the morning in the AM, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the channel, man. Like I said, do not miss it, baby. We up. We're gonna talk about it. Me and the homie Deke. All right. But one final time, man, don't forget to hit that like button for the culture and subscribe. Do appreciate each and every one of y'all rocking out tonight on the channel. Tons of fun. One more time before the buzzer. I see. He says, I already saw us. Or he says, I already saw them beat us in Cleveland. I don't want to see it again in Pittsburgh. Hey, shout out to that, man. The only way for that to not happen is for us to go out there and win in Pittsburgh. So I like you. Absolutely. Let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. But with that being the case, like I said, man, that will conclude tonight's show, and we will bounce back, man. Don't you trip. And tons of fun. Just make sure you tap in when they play Cleveland, when Cleveland got to come back here, man. Just tap in, all right? But either way, appreciate you. And until next time, baby. Peace.